Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another episode of Brickmania TV. Which one do you want to talk about first? We have the Cromwell.
Right. Let's talk about the new releases. This is part of it. We have 4 new releases. Four new kit releases this week.
Cool.
We're going to talk about 3 of the 4.
Awesome.
So the main part of this episode is going to be the Cromwell. So let's maybe go through that.
No, it's the motorcycle.
Motorcycle?
No. Let's talk about the Cromwell.
You're a little biased, right?
Cool. Cromwell.
Cromwell, yes.
A little bit of history
Cromwell.
maybe first?
Right. So Cromwell is a British, they call these cruiser tanks. So cruiser tank being a fast-moving tank. So you have the philosophy that the British Army was fighting with. They had 2 different types of armored vehicles. Tanks. They called them the infantry tanks. They were slow, took a beating, but could dish out a beating. They were basically designed to give fire support and infantry support. And then the cruiser tanks were like their cavalry tanks. So this is the mark. The Crusader is one of the mid-wars cruiser tanks. There's actually several different marks of the Crusader itself. The original one had a two-pounder gun, little 37mm gun. It wasn't very effective against the German armor, as they discovered in the battlefield. So this is actually the 6-pounder gun, 57mm gun. It's Crusader Mark III. So they did some changes, got rid of the hull machine gun, added a bigger gun in the turret. It does have a coaxial machine gun as well.
Cool. So any notable battles that this was in?
The Crusaders pretty much took part in almost the entire North Africa campaign. So they had some earlier, I guess you should say cruiser tanks. The Crusader being one of the middle years, cruiser tanks. Some of the other cruiser tanks, like the Cromwell, or Comet, those are other famous in the family. This is an earlier version. So, yeah, your LL basically sort of the final big battles of the North Africa campaign.
Right.
Would have this tank. The earlier versions would have been in earlier battles in North Africa.
Right on. I see you have some insignia on this tank.
Right, we did 2. I think I'll show you the sticker sheet.
Cool.
We have some insignia on here. This is the 7th Armored Division, British 7th Armored Division. Yep. The famous Desert Rats. The sticker sheet here also we put in the rhinoceros.
The first
is the 1st Division. So these are both 2 British divisions. You can use the same or not. Choose to use the British markings on there. I've seen pictures with and without. Depends on where it was and at what time frame. Yeah.
So if you build one tank with our kit, you can always, with your own parts, make another tank, and you got stickers for that as well.
Right. Yeah. You have front and back, the fenders.
Nice.
Same sort of deal. Yep. So you get 2 sticker sheets, depending on which battle you want to do. There was probably a point where both of these would have been on the battlefield at the same time.
Right on. Cool. Let's talk about the build. Maybe some different techniques you're using here. Or
right. Well, this one you can see. This was built. There's a couple different design philosophies when we're going into building a model. Sometimes we'll have it for features. Sometimes we'll have it for details. This one's actually built for strength. So
yeah, very much so.
Yeah. You can see by the bottom of the hull. It's fairly solid. You can't really bend or destroy this model. You can destroy it. I tried. I stood on it. All the wheels popped off.
But you actually stood with all your weight on top of this thing. I saw that, and yeah, the tracks popped off, but the actual hull is still intact. So it's pretty impressive.
It's pretty well solid. You can see that there's no room for air in there. You do have the extra fuel, the auxiliary fuel tank.
Yeah, it's a cool way of attaching that, just using some what are those, L brackets? What do you call those?
Yep, and it's a friction fit.
Nice.
So you push it on, it'll stay on a little better.
Cool. And simple.
You can also, if you wanted to, these side skirts are held on with brackets. If you want to pull those brackets out, you can.
Nice.
You'll see it in pictures with or without the side skirts. I wanted to do with the side skirts.
That's a pretty easy modification if you want.
Oh, super simple. You're just taking off pieces.
Right.
And you will notice it really doesn't do anything to the structure.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool that you made it buildable without compromising anything if you want to modify it.
Yeah.
So it's always fun seeing different modifications of our kits.
So, and if you've built my models, you know it's going to be sturdy. It's a solid. It's a big hunk of plastic.
Cool. That is awesome. That is the Crusader.
Crusader Mark III.
Crusader Mark III. There's so many different.
It's like a cruiser tank Mark VI. Crusader Mark III.
Crusader.
Yeah. So cruiser tank is a type of tank, and it's the 6th cruiser tank. and the third Crusader.
That's not confusing at all.
Yeah, the British.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the little guy?
The little guy, yeah.
Sure.
So we're kind of doing a lot in North Africa. The micro brick battle for this year, we've been trying to knock out all the North Africa battles because we want to do some. It'll be fun to get down to do some of these famous big tank battles.
Right.
So in the desert, perfect tank country. You got long sweeping vistas. You can see for a long way. That's where a lot of the biggest tank battles up until that time took place in the desert. So,
there we go.
Yeah.
So this is the...
That is a Panzer II.
Panzer II.
Little baby Panzer II. So you may recognize it from our previous... It's pretty much the same build as the regular Panzer II, the gray Panzer II. Right. But it's been updated for North Africa.
Right. A little bit of a desert camouflage going on here.
Yeah. Of course you can... If you already have the other one, you can probably just take a peek at it and see, hey, look, we can change this, this, and this to make the... So it's up to you.
I mean, you can pretty much reverse engineer this thing right now.
Right, yeah.
It's a simple build, but if you don't have the parts, then
we'll provide it for you. For a limited time, we'll have these. So all these micro brick battle things. I mean, basically, you buy the rule book, you'll get the instructions how to build them. We're going to provide you with an opportunity to buy them, so you don't have to source the parts. And you'll also get the Bricks of War card.
Yes.
The Bricks of War card right now doesn't mean a whole lot to anyone until one, the Bricks of War game comes out, or we start doing tournaments.
Right.
We start doing the micro brick battle tournaments at various events, which we plan on doing. You will need those cards.
Right.
So those cards will be necessary to play.
Cool. And last but not least, you have the motorcycle.
Yes, this is a new edition of our WLA Motorcycle. So those who went to World War Brick a couple of years ago will remember that this was the event kit, this motorcycle portion of it was. We had shown off a version with the sidecar. People asked for it. We listened, so we decided we're going to get that sidecar into a kit. Basically, it's more or less the same model, some real minor updates. You can take the little cover off the sidecar and stick a second figure in there, which does not come with.
Would you ever see machine guns mounted on the front of these? I know the German ones would do that a lot, but...
This is WLA Motorcycle. It's basically a Harley-Davidson. They had two versions of the sidecar. The American version, the one that was used by the American Army, had the sort of boat-shaped hull. It was really never used with the machine gun. You will see another version of it that has a round nose on it, and it had like a little, you could actually climb in and out. Those were all sent over to Russia as part of the Lend-Lease program. You see very common on the Russian motorcycles that they'd stuck a DP-28 on that sidecar.
So they're like, we need a machine gun for this.
Wow, we need a way to get the machine gun to the front line.
Yeah, so that's cool.
You can. There's a little bracket. It's a Brick Arms U-clip holding on the Tommy gun on there. Yeah. That's the non-trademark infringing submachine gun, M1A1 submachine.
M1A1.
And we did put this is our classic armored division tanker that's riding it.
Yep. And you've seen this torso before. We've used it in a ton of kits. Super simple design, really cool though. And you have the tanker sleeve patch.
What about those goggles?
And it's a brand new design. So you have the chin strap, and to keep that helmet on when you're driving a motorcycle. And then you have goggles. So these are actually originally a British design, and we just kind of licensed it and have our own American version. Had our own American version, kind of early to mid-war, something like that.
And I think most of these motorcycle riders are issued like more of a tanker helmet, but I think as they were getting shot at, they adapted the
you'd see them in all sorts of different
M1
things,
steel pot, yeah. Right.
Cool. Yeah, that's it. A cool, simple little kit. Fun artwork on that.
Yeah, and both available for all these available just for a limited time.
Awesome, cool.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
There'll be more. We have more.
We have another video coming out.
B-17
shortly.
And we're going to be doing a separate one on the Kolkin Gold Battle Pack.
Cool.
So look for that soon.
So the B-17 one, that'll be later this week, correct?
Right. We're still putting the final touches on our.
It's a big kit.
Stickers. It's a lot going on.
Man.
Printed parts. 10 crewmen. Oh man. Anyway, a separate video.
Yes. Okay. That is the episode. For more information, check out brickmania.com. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And to ring the bell.
Ring the bell, apparently.
Yeah, that's a thing.
All right. Thanks for watching.